by D. Moore. Here's Heggie. Trying to get it inside to Olsen, and Presley Heggie has really come into her own the past couple of weeks of the season, providing great relief scoring-wise, defensively, rebounding, just an all-around player for this Knights team.
Well, we talked a little bit about, even though this Greensboro team is a very well-rounded team, you know, the Knights are very similar. A lot of options, a lot of players.
Offensive rebound, 41.
Especially when you look at the youth that the Southern Virginia Knights have.
Indeed.
So many times throughout the season, there's been a different player step up in every game.
Absolutely, it's definitely been the case. We've seen Abby Snyder step up, of course, Courtney Olsen, Alyssa McRolla. We've also seen players like Addison Newman. And all over the roster for Southern Virginia, you've had players step up time and time again. Nearly taken away that time by McRolla. Here's the three.
Three-point jumper number 2.
That is no good. As Lauren Livingston.
Jump ball.
So it'll stay with the Pride.
Knights bench thought there might be a foul call, but the referee says nope, gives it a jump ball.
Here's the three-pointer up and good that time for number 4, Audrey Jennings. Jennings, arguably the leader in scoring. In fact, she is the leader in scoring for this Pride team, averaging 17.5 points per game. And a turnover for Newman. So it'll go back to the Pride. And one of the things to talk to with assistant coach Brett Schroeder of Southern Virginia is in the last matchup, the Knights would get within 3 points, sometimes 1 point, and then the Pride would go on a little bit of a run of their own. And one thing he talked about was we can't shoot ourselves in the foot. We can't commit silly turnovers and stop our own runs before they do. That's a missed shot that time by Moore. Here's Olsen with it, stepping through with the left hand, up, no good. Brought down by Newman, mid-range jumper, rattles out, no good. Rebounded by Olsen again. She is fouled on the way up that time. Fouled by number 22, D. Moore. And subbing in for the Pride is number 24, Aja Palmer. She's the one we were talking about before the game, who just dominates on the boards. Hasn't started a single game, but always comes off the bench and does a phenomenal job. Here's Olsen with her first free throw. First one is good. You know, Colby, you referenced this earlier, but Palmer has a total of 240 rebounds going into today's game of this season. That rattles out for Olsen. 171 of her rebounds have been defensive.
There she goes, first missed shot, 1 rebound for her.
She just finds the ball. And for a little context, folks, that 171 defensive rebounds is more than the leading rebounder for Southern Virginia, Courtney Olsen, has this year in total, both offensive and defensive. Shot no good, rebounded by Newman. Players hitting the floor. Newman hesitated, was gonna pick it up and pass it ahead, but dribbled again, so double dribble. Another unnecessary turnover for the Knights earlier in this one.
Checking in for the Knights, number 10, Emma Camden.
Emma Camden will be checking in for Southern Virginia. She's one of those players that she may not get a lot of baskets, but she's also one of the leaders in rebounding for this team. Second on the team with 103 total to her name. Just one of those hustle players that gets things done. Phenomenal spin move and one. That one is good for Leggett.
Basket's good by Leggett. She's at the line shooting 1. Nice foul on Heggie, her first.
And even though Emma Camden didn't start this game, the Knights really need that energy from her off the bench today to really be able to, you know, have a chance against this Greensboro team.
Free throw is good. And one of the things we're also talking about before the game, Colby, is that this Greensboro College team is phenomenal from the free throw line. They, as a team, average 78.6% from the free throw line. That shot from McRolla rattles out, no good. Rebounded by Palmer. And so where I was going with that is if this becomes a free throw shootout, that's a game that Greensboro College is very capable of winning, and it just kind of shows the discipline of this Pride team. Heggie trying to get it inside to Camden, knocked out of bounds by Moore. Or excuse me, that's Leggett who knocked it out of bounds. Knights have 15 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Savoon trying to get inside to Olsen. Spins to the right side, up with the right hand, no good. Knocked out of bounds by the Knights. Olsen's made a couple of solid moves in the paint so far, but not able to knock anything down as of yet.
It'd be good for her to get that offensive game going, maybe pick up a couple fouls on Palmore, get her out of the game and away from the boards.
Impressive layup that time by Jennings. Advance to head to Camden. Here's McRolla driving in, gets to Camden, up with the right hand, rattles out, no good. That's been kind of the name of the game for Southern Virginia right now, where they get solid, high-quality looks, but it just rattles out of the basket. And subbing in for the Knights is number 11, Abigail Snyder, a player that this coaching staff hopes can change that in this game.
No, we've already touched on a little bit, but again, she's one of those players that's had some big games this season. And, we talked a little bit before the game, Dawson, that if we can get good games, big games out of 2 or 3 of those players this game, the Knights will be in business.
Savoon driving in. Olsen mid-range, that's good. She was way too open for that one. It seemed like no one even knew where she was. Driving in the lane and one for Livingston. She did that a couple times in their matchup last week, where the Knights would get on a little bit of a run, have some good scoring rhythm going, and then Livingston would just drive in and knock down a layup. So with that, we'll have a timeout here on the floor with the score 10-5 in favor of the Pride of Greensboro College, with Livingston going to the free throw line to, hopefully for Greensboro, add on to that lead. But again, one of the things that I talked about with Coach Schroeder, Brett Schroeder, assistant coach, is turnovers. You can't commit silly turnovers. Already the Knights have committed 4 to Greensboro College's 1. You just can't have those things happen if you want to upset the top team in the conference.
And even more so about those turnovers is at least 2 of them have been unforced.
Right.
Where SVU just dribbled the ball off their leg or made a pass and it wasn't there. It wasn't stolen by the Pride. It was just an ill-advised pass, and that's one thing that for sure they have to cut back on.
Right, absolutely. And some of the things I talked with Coach Schroeder about is that obviously they came into this game looking at it as an important game for seeding purposes. Obviously, going into the conference tournament, you want to be in the best position possible, make it to where you can host a conference game in your home arena, because again, the Knights play very, very well here in front of their home crowd. And also, they want to make sure they limit threes in transition. So far, they've done so. Only 1 3-pointer for Greensboro College as of yet. Of course, you want to knock on wood for that one. But I also want to talk about my conversation with Greensboro College head coach Heather Macy. Now, of course, this team on a 19-game winning streak. They have not lost a game since December 3rd, so before the break for Christmas and the holidays. And honestly, talking with Coach Macy, it's clear, like I mentioned before, this Greensboro College team is very disciplined. They know what they're about. Is that free throws up and no good. Rare missed free throw for the Pride. But this Greensboro College team, they mean business. They absolutely do. They know what they're about. They know who they are. And Coach Heather Macy told me, she said, this is another game. It's a beautiful pass to O'Bray from Camden. Cutting in the backside, able to knock down the layup. Here's a 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Camden. Advance to head to Snyder. Another call, travel on Olsen. Rand Lessing will be checking in place of Savoon, trying to add on some extra height for rebounding purposes, I'm sure. Bringing it down the floor is Livingston. Here's the three. That's up and good for Livingston. Again, in their last matchup, that is where Greensboro College really hurt the Knights the most, was beyond the three-point line. Just not playing close enough defense. Olsen wide open in the paint. Again, some great interior passing. And a couple of lapses in this defense for the Pride. That three for Livingston is also good. Back-to-back threes for Livingston.
Obviously, some miscommunication there on defense. Can't afford to leave Livingston open like that.
Camden's three is no good. Rebounded by Palmer. Another three for the Pride. That one is good. That time by number 12, Elia Whiteside. So 3 3-pointers in a row. Now puts the Pride up by 10 over the Knights of Southern Virginia, and checking in for Southern Virginia will be number 32, Asia Foster. We talked about Asia Foster before the game, Colby, how we felt like that's possibly a player you can have come into the game and provide a lot of energy.
Absolutely, as we were talking about the rebounding by the Pride, Asia's somebody that brings a lot of energy onto the floor. Might even be a little annoying for some of those players to have to go up against. And so now here Coach Schroeder going to bring her in, probably thinking she might be able to go out there, be a force on the perimeter, and prevent some of those three-point shots. It'll be interesting to see what defense gets set up here now going forward to kind of put an end to this run of three-pointers.
Absolutely, as the Knights now have it, again, down by 10 points with 3 minutes and 8 seconds left in this first quarter. Again, the Knights started off very quickly, advancing the ball down the floor, getting a couple of quick buckets. But since then, it's been the Pride. Another takeaway. And fouled on the shot that time was Audrey Jennings. Should be fouled by Camden. And Jennings will go to the line.
Next foul, number 10, Emma Camden. Her first. At the line, shooting 2, Audrey.
Mariah Savoon checking in for Rand Lessing.
For the Knights.
Here's the free throw. That's up and good. Puts the Pride up 20-9. Second one is also good. So after those 2 free throws, Southern Virginia in a bit of a bind. Backside cut for O'Bray. Overreacted to the defense that was approaching her, embraced herself so she missed the shot. Strong finish that time by Takiria Leggett. The body control and to maintain the focus with the defender in her face was very impressive. Foster wide open in the paint, goes up strong and good. You're seeing the Pride really emphasizing the three-point line defensively, so it leaves a lot of openings in the paint.
Well, and right now the Knights kind of have a smaller lineup out there, so it makes sense that they're pushing the ball around outside.
Takeaway by the Knights. Someone kicks it out to Foster. Fadeaway jumper, rattles out, no good. O'Bray chasing it down. Shot clock now at 10. Trying to scoop it up underneath, no good, but she'll go to the free throw line.
Pride foul number 2, Lauren Livingston.
A lot of creativity there by Savoon to get that shot up and under, get that up on the glass and give it a shot. Kind of starting to see a fun little matchup there develop between her and Livingston.
First free throw for Savoon is up and good. Here's the second. That rattles in and is good. Now, since that timeout, we have not seen any more three-pointers from Greensboro College as that goes out of bounds. Turnover by the Pride. That time committed by Carly Mason. This Pride defense doing a great job at suffocating the point guards up top. That'll be a foul call on number 23, Takiria Leggett. Call for a block. Got some substitutions for the Pride as well. Number 12, Elia Whiteside, and number 24, Aja Palmer.
And the Knights are really going to need to be that aggressive there as they're looking at that trapping defense there. We'll go between the players, between the defenders, and really force the contact and get some fouls picked up.
Camden dribbling in, mid-range jumper, that is good. Again, there's just so much space that the Pride is giving to the Knights right now. And I feel like a lot of times the Knights are hesitant to take it. Step back three, that's up, no good, rebounded by Foster. And trying to pass to Foster, an ill-advised pass taken away by Livingston. That's up and no good, rebounded by Foster. Again, Foster providing that energy the Knights desperately needed. Knocked out of Savoon's hands, brought down by Newman, goes up with the right hand, up and in. One of the more chaotic series of events we've seen. It reaches the end of the first quarter. Savoon was bringing it up the floor, was knocked out of her hands, bounced off the rim because it was bounced out of her hands so high. And it ended up with the Knights, and Newman gets the basket. So the Knights going on a little bit of a run right now, bringing it back to within 8 points. A similar pattern to what we saw last week over in Greensboro, where they would go on a little bit of a run. Then Greensboro would make a couple of solid baskets, get a couple of fouls called their way, gets the free throw line. Now, when I talked to Brett Schroeder about it, I asked him, how do you get over that hump? How do you get over that to where it's not just bringing it close, but you take the lead? Again, it's what I talked about before. Turnovers, you can't be committing turnovers. Since the timeout when we talked about it, they've committed 3 more. They've now committed 7 turnovers in this first half, or I guess in that first quarter alone, compared to Greensboro College's 3. So you gotta be smart with the ball. And again, you gotta take advantage of the space that the Pride are giving you. Because again, they're allowing you space to be able to dribble in, or they're allowing backside cutters, keep people moving. Because in a defense that's spaced out, those windows for passing will open up eventually.
And the thing about the turnovers is right now, that's 11 points that Greensboro has scored off of those turnovers. So
right.
If the Knights can control the ball a little bit better, like you said, there's space on the offensive end. They've got to be aggressive and get into that space. And things are going to open up as we've seen the last 2 minutes of that first quarter.
Absolutely. So far leading the way for the Pride of Greensboro College. Livingston has 8 points, followed by Jennings with 7. And then for Southern Virginia scoring-wise, paving the way is Olsen with 5, then Savoon with 4. Then you have O'Bray, Camden, and Foster with 2 apiece. Here's Newman for 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Livingston. Newman is very capable of knocking down that outside shot, so I wouldn't be opposed to seeing more of that. That is a strong shot that time by Aja Palmer. There's Olsen working the paint, up with the right hand, no good. Olsen has struggled to get shots to fall here in this first half so far. Wide open for 3. That's no good. Somehow rebounded by Olsen. Again, no small feat going over against Palmer. Fadeaway jumper, no good from McRolla. Palmer kicks it out. Shot clock winding down for the Pride. Deep three. That's up, no good. Rebounded by Heggie.
McCroll Olsen rather, I should say, doing a great job of putting a body there on Palmer.
Up strong with the left hand is Savoon. A little bit of a physicality there as Savoon was trying to get in the way of that pass. Here's the deep three. No good, rebounded by Olsen. Up the right hand, no good for Newman. Here's the three. That one, no good for Livingston. So the Pride have kind of gone cold as the pass was intended for Olsen, knocked out of bounds. Gaisha Foster checking in for the Knights.
And this is one of those stretches where, like you said, Greensboro's gone a little bit cold. The Knights need to recognize that right now and take advantage of every offensive possession and come away with something.
And some substitutions to the Pride as well. Number 22, D. Moore, and 23, Takiria Legit. Heggie going up strong with the right hand, no good. Brought down that time by Moore. Kick out for three. That's no good. Rebounded by Moore, up and in. So again, the Pride not able to convert from the three-point line, but able to get that offensive rebound and give themselves a second chance and get some more points on the board. Newman driving in, kick out. Here's Heggie. That's good for three. Again, we talk about Heggie, the capability that she has from beyond the three-point line. If she can get on a roll today, that could be huge for this Knights team. Pass inside, tipped out of bounds off the hand of McRolla. But I love the idea there, the pass coming from number 23, Takiria Legit. She was trying to find number 4, Audrey Jennings, who was making a backside cut. And the pass was just slightly off. Newman will be called for the foul as, again, a great cut to the basket by Jennings. Gets her in perfect position.
At the line, shooting two, Audrey Jennings.
So Jennings has a chance to add some more points to her stat sheet. She's now currently at 7. First free throw is good. She is now tied as the leading scorer for the Pride with Livingston. Here's the second free throw. It's up and good. Good pump fake there from Savoon. Savoon for three. That's good. Savoon is having herself a day.
Savoon's really come on strong the second half of this conference season.
Trying to pass it ahead and taken away by O'Bray. She's all alone and misses the layup wide open. Her feet were kind of getting too far ahead of her as she was trying to outrun the defense. Jennings for three. That's no good. Rebounded by Foster.
I don't think O'Bray realized how much distance she'd put between her and the defensive player on that.
Especially in that move she made at half court. Heggie for three. That's no good. Here come the Pride. Up the left hand, rattles in and good. Foul be called on Newman.
Nice foul, number 4.
Unfortunately, Newman saw that developing, tried to go over and give some help, but she was stuck in the restricted area.
Some substitutions for both teams at the moment. Number 2, Lauren Livingston will be checking in along with number 24, Elijah Palmer. Excuse me. And then for Southern Virginia, you have Courtney Olson, Emma Camden, as well as Abigail Snyder. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Snyder for three. That's no good. Brought down by Olsen, up with the right hand and in. So the Knights creating less and less distance between them and the Pride on the scoreboard. Driving in, up the right hand, rattling in good. That time for Moore. Snyder mid-range jumper off the back of the rim, no good. Snyder chases it down after it's dribbled around. Savoon keeps the ball alive on the floor. Olsen steps through, passes it inside to Savoon, unable to knock it down, but a great move to the basket. Knights doing a great job switching on the screens. Here's the mid-range jumper, no good. Rebounded by Snyder. That's gonna be a foul that time on Leggett. She basically just stood there and kind of shoved Savuna. She was trying to make
stood
her
there.
way.
Now she's engaged in a staring contest with the referee that called her for the foul. Not quite sure what she's thinking there.
Well, you could probably make the argument of, oh, she was standing in place, her feet were set, and she didn't really do anything. She has the right to that space. But at the same time, I think maybe they saw her extend her arm just slightly.
Oh, she definitely reached across Savoon's body there and was, I mean, she made it look like she was just trying to stop the fast break. A little surprised at her reaction to the whistle.
And so with that, we got a tight ball game here, folks. 33-27 in favor of the Pride. Real quick, we want to give a shout out to our athletic partners, Straws Drinks and Eats here in Buena Vista, Virginia. If you're passing through, if you need a good place to get a good soda, a good treat, or just a place to relax, Straws Drinks and Eats is the place to go. Highly, highly recommend. Thanks so much, Straws Drinks and Eats, for sponsoring this game of Southern Virginia Athletics. Also, you're watching this on Knights Broadcasting, so be sure to give us a like, subscribe, leave us a comment down below and let us know what we may be doing wrong, maybe some things we're doing right. Let us know down below, and be sure to click that notification bell by the subscription button. That way you do not miss out on a single game of Southern Virginia Athletics. Thank you so much for supporting Knights Broadcasting.
So we really should, just thank everybody again for tuning in, watching. We know you're watching, your sons, daughters on all the broadcasts that we do. And we're just grateful that we can bring all these broadcasts to everybody across the United States.
Absolutely.
We've got players from everywhere, so thanks for tuning in.
And call travel that time on Olsen. That's the second time in this game. So again, the Knights go on a little bit of a run, then something silly happens where it's either a double dribble or a travel. It's just one of those things that you just can't do to yourself. You can't shoot yourself in the foot and limit your ability to be in games like this.
The good thing is they seem to found a good groove on defense that's helping things out a little bit here now.
Camden went up strong, draws the foul, and she'll go to the free throw line. But one thing I also like too is even if she wasn't fouled, you still had Snyder right there backing her up, getting the rebound and possibly being able to put it back up. Free throw for Camden is no good. But you're absolutely right, Colby. If you do make those mistakes, you can't let that affect you. You got to strap down and make sure that they don't score off those turnovers, that you can play as stout a defense as well. Camden's second free throw is good.
And that's one thing. Now, the Knights have 8 turnovers, but it's been a while. Several minutes ago, they were already at 7. And Greensboro had 11 points off of turnovers at that point. Right now, with just under 4 minutes left in the half, Knights are up to 8 turnovers, so only 1 turnover in the last several minutes. Greensboro still just with 11 points off those turnovers.
We had a substitution for the Knights at number 30, Ruth Kempler, the freshman from Santa Clarita, California, who's seen some minutes here throughout the season. With a deep three. Foul on the shot by Savoon. They're gonna call her for a block on the shot. So that'll send Livingston to the line and shooting 3 free throws. First free throw is up and no good. Again, I mentioned before how consistent this Pride team has been from behind the free throw line. I mean, this year it's just been absolutely fantastic to watch as the team averages about 78.6%. As here is the third and final free throw. It's up and good. We see that Greensboro College has really tightened up their defense on the interior. Camden able to recover it. SVU for three. No good. Rebounded that time by Asia Palmer. We're going to call travel here that time on number 4, Audrey Jennings. As she had a good lane on the right side to dribble in and score. So the Knights within 7. Here's Snyder in the corner for three. Off the front of the rim, no good. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Knights. So Snyder hasn't been able to really get going yet from behind the three-point line, but if they keep getting her consistent open shots like that, there'll be no problem.
She's had a couple good looks, and she'll knock down a couple if she keeps getting those looks.
SVU driving in, going up with the right hand underneath, no good. Rebounded by Palmer. I believe they're going to call a foul that time on Kempler. And checking in for the Knights, number 22, Barrett Jessup, the senior from Salt Lake City, Utah. She'll come in for Camden. It's great cheering from some of the home crowd.
The softball team, they love to see Barrett hit the floor. Pump some energy into her. Maybe it'll be worth a couple three-pointers here.
And out of bounds, that ball sails. It'll go back to the Knights. Slow to get up is Courtney Olson. Asia Foster will be checking in. She's coming in for Olson. Hopefully we can see some more energetic plays, much like Foster was able to provide earlier when she was substituted in. Just 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Kepler gets it inside to Foster. Pass is just a little too far. Foster had a little trouble managing it, so it goes out of bounds. But a good idea, again, trying to cut to the basket, trying to get a solid pass on the inside. Another foul on SVU. She's trying to play very aggressive defense against Livingston.
At the line, shooting 2, Lauren Livingston.
Checking in for her will be J.D. O'Bray. First free throw is good for Livingston. Second free throw is up and rattles out, no good. Rebounded by Jessup. Taken away by Mason. Trying to pass inside Livingston, kicked out to Jennings for three, no good. Brought down by the Pride. Jennings cuts inside and is fouled on the way up.
Nice foul, number 11.
That'll be called against Snyder.
Snyder. At the line,
Checking in for Jessup is Camden.
Jennings.
Another substitution for Southern Virginia will be number 13, Eve Schmalbeck.
Checking in for the Knights, number 13.
Eve Schmalbeck, we've talked about her a couple different times in these broadcasts where she's one of those players that seems to be in the right place at the right time, make a lot of really solid passes. And we can see that benefit the Knights here in the final minute and a half of this first half.
Yeah, the Knights really need to have a good, strong closeout here to the second period, see if they can cut into this lead.
That free throw is good for
Gain some
Jennings.
momentum going into the second half.
They absolutely need that. Snyder brings it down the floor. Schmalbeck driving in, kicks it out to Snyder. Hand off to Schmalbeck, goes inside, up with the right hand and in. Again, making those solid cuts to the basket. Greensboro really hasn't had much of a response to that so far today. Livingston drives past and sails that ball out of bounds, trying to kick it out to Jennings. Jennings was open on the outside. It's just Livingston put a little bit too much mustard into that one.
And now the Knights have an opportunity to come up with a second strong possession here and cut into the lead a little bit further.
Snyder dribbling in with her left. Trying to kick it out to Obrey, and Obrey was trying to cut to the high post. So back-to-back possessions, one for either team, where a pass just sails out of bounds. .46 seconds remaining in the half. Try to pass inside to Asia Palmer. Up the right hand, no good, and she's fouled. Then I called that one on Foster. Both Foster and Schmalbeck were right there.
Palmer at the line, shooting 2.
Asia Palmer so far this year shooting 72% from the free throw line. Makes that one. Second free throw up and good. 38 seconds. That one knocked away. Snyder recovers. Tries to pass ahead to Schmalbeck, taken away by the Pride. No shot clock. Deep three, no good. Rebounded by Jennings. Throws it up, trying to draw the foul, doesn't get it. 12 seconds. Snyder goes up with the right hand, gets fouled by Palmer. Again, we talked about that, where the Knights need to attack Palmer, try to draw some fouls on her, because again, rebounding-wise, she gives Greensboro College so much of an edge. Livingston checks in for Greensboro.
No, it was a good take there by Abby Snyder to really take that to the hoop and try and force the contact, force something to get up there on the glass. The Knights are getting a little bit frustrated because of the lack of fouls being called on Greensboro.
First free throw for Snyder is no good. If she makes this free throw, she'll bring it back within single digits, which indeed she will. Makes it 40-31. Barrett Jessup will check in for Eve Schmalbeck. The floater from Livingston, no good, and that will end the half as the Pride of Greensboro College will hold a 40-31 lead over the Knights at halftime. Again, a very important game for Southern Virginia, conference seeding-wise, and also just trying to take down the #1 team in the conference, who has not lost a conference matchup yet. But a lot of good things you saw from the Knights, but the main difference being right now is that huge run that Greensboro College went on in that first quarter.
Yeah, they knocked down those three-pointers back to back to back. The Knights, they weathered that storm. They brought it back to within 4 points at one point. Trouble was they just committed a couple turnovers, got a little lackadaisical on the offensive end, and turned into some points for Greensboro there to close out that second quarter.
And so it should be a very exciting half here at Knight Arena. We will be right back with the start of the second half action. Don't go away.
All right, Knife fans, it is time for the Straws, Drinks, and Eat halftime contest. Today's halftime contest will be featuring Jesse Barker and Oliver Bird. It is the basketball magic copyright for these two today. Let's give a round of applause for our contestants. So today's contest is pretty simple. You have to sit down on the carpet. Your feet have to be on the carpet as you scoot towards the free throw line. Once you get to the free throw line, you have to then make an elbow jumper, and then first one back to the baseline wins the free drink. All right, my fans, make some noise for these contestants. Here we go. No, you're just shooting. No hands, no hands. All right, on your marks, get set, go. Let's go, get to school. Come on, boys. Come on, let's go, push it, work it, work it. Let's go, hustle, get there. I think your wife would be pretty disappointed in you right now, Jessica. Come on, let's go. Oliver's getting into the free throw line, let's go. All right, yeah, you're there. Now you just need to sink the jumper and head back to the baseline. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Come on, Jesse, get the scoop, bro. And scoop back. Hey, there we go. On the final stretch. This could be close, Make some noise, my friends, for your contestants. Let's go. Oh, Jesse, there we go. I see how it is. This could be close. All right, let's go. Put some pretty back in here, let's go. Your ball has to cross the line, let's go. Let's go. Who wants it? Justice literally inches away from the line. Great work, Oliver and Jesse. Great work. And a round of applause for your contestants, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
We're back for the start of the second half between the pride of Greensboro College and your Southern Virginia University Knights. Right now, Greensboro College has the 40-31 lead coming out of halftime. And before we get into anything, we want to apologize for the lack of scoreboard on the broadcast today. Just some technical difficulties that are happening, and so we'll make sure to keep you as updated as possible on our end, score by score as it goes along. But Colby, you and I were talking during the break that aside from just a couple small things, the stats for both teams, even though Greensboro College has the 9-point advantage, they're pretty even across the board.
Oh, absolutely. You know, one thing we talked a lot about was rebounding. Well, Southern Virginia leads the rebounding category, 18-15 on the defensive end and 8-6 on the offensive end. So they're doing the job on the boards, you know, and the biggest place where they are losing are in turnovers. 12 turnovers by SVU and only 9 by Greensboro. But the good part is it's showing they are creating turnovers as well.
Right, absolutely. And another big difference is just that one run that Greensboro College went in. In fact, those 3 3-pointers they had in the first quarter are the difference in the score right now. They had that huge run, back-to-back 3-pointers as the Pride take possession first. Here's a 3-pointer, speaking of which, and that is good for Takiria Leggett. So, of course, Greensboro College seeing the main difference was those 3-pointers, so why not go back to it? Because aside from some moments in the second quarter, they've been falling for them.
But there was that one run where they got 3 in a row.
Newman driving in, trying to go up strong. Gets knocked away, pass back to her. Olsen stepping through, up with the right hand, no good. And a foul committed by Alyssa McRolla as number 22, Dee Moore, was trying to bring it down. So now the score stands 43-31 in favor of the Pride. Pass inside, nearly taken away by Newman, but it'll go out of bounds off of Greensboro College. Checking into the game is number 1, J.D. O'Bray. We've seen a lot of action from her today, which isn't necessarily a thing you tend to see with this women's team. J.D. O'Bray sometimes will come in when the lead is really large for Southern Virginia or if they need a defensive stop. It's one of those that you can just kind of pull out of your belt of tricks anytime you want. Passing inside to O'Bray, cuts the basket. O'Bray had a similar play when she just checked in the first half.
Great look there by Heggie.
So now score stands 43-33 in favor of the Pride.
Outside Maria! Outside JD!
Pass inside, knocked away by Olsen. Now there's 10 seconds left on the shot clock. So now the Pride will have to rush to try to find a high-quality shot.
Take the inside.
Good pass inside. Up the right hand, up and good. So now here's Newman with it. Olsen trying to make a move in the paint, kicks it out to O'Bray. Dribbles in, kicks out to Savoon. Savoon for this jump shot, no good. Brought down by Heggie. Olsen driving to the basket, up the right hand, no good, but fouled on the way up by number 22, D. Moore. Now some news real quick. Another aspect of Southern Virginia athletics, the men's volleyball team for Southern Virginia beat the #1 ranked team in the country, Juniata, in 4 sets. We talk about, I mean, you and I have covered the men's volleyball team this year so far and the success that they've had, but beating the #1 team in the nation, my goodness.
Yeah, they split on the road, right, over at Randolph-Macon. You know, suffered their first loss of the season, but now there they are. You know, we knew they had that #1 Juniata on the schedule, and we're able to go in and get a win. So congratulations to Coach Peterson and the men's volleyball team.
You, of course, can see all their home games here on Knights Broadcasting here on YouTube. As the score is brought within 10, 45-35 in favor of the Pride. That shot rattling out, rebounded by Olsen. Trying to no-look past the Savoon on the left side. Sails out of bounds. Love the idea because Savoon has been one of the main consistent scorers for Southern Virginia today. She knocked on a three-pointer earlier. She's made both free throws. She's 3 for 7 from the field. Scored a total of 9 points, tied with Courtney Olsen for leading scorer for Southern Virginia. They're going to call a block on Savoon.
Yeah, they missed right there. Livingston got her arm or threw her elbow up and over the shoulder of Savoon. That's how they got tangled up initially.
Almost like Livingston was trying to stiff arm Savoon on the way to the basket. And you definitely see the frustration building up with Savoon. That mid-range jumper, good for Livingston. Makes it 47-35. Inside to Olsen. Pump fake up, off the glass and in. Brings it back within 10. Taken away initially by Savoon, but recovered by Jennings. Here's the three. That's up, no good. Rebounded by O'Bray. Kick out to Olsen. Drives in, off the glass and in. Falling to the floor defensively was Asia Palmer. You could almost make the argument of a flop there.
Absolutely.
So now brings it back within 8. I'm going to say that Heggie got her hand on that shot. O'Bray gets it back to Newman, stepping with the right foot up with the right hand and in for Newman. Brings it within 6. Makes it 47-41. Mid-range jumper up and good for Leggett. Advance to head to Heggie for 3. That's good for Heggie. Heggie's now 2 for 2 from behind the three-point line. Livingston brings it down the floor. Taken away by Newman. Advanced up ahead to Savoon. Pass to O'Bray, pass back to Savoon. Trying to go up strong with the right hand, rebounded by Palmer. Another missed opportunity for the Knights. Foul be called, I believe, on Olsen. Indeed, it will be.
Foul, number 41, Courtney Olsen.
Some substitutions for the Knights, including Asia Foster, Abigail Snyder, and number 10, Emma Camden. And so number 4, Audrey Jennings, will go to the line.
Jennings is 6 for 6 from the line so far this game, so not necessarily the player you want to put on the line here for Greensboro.
Actually now is 7 for 7. You're absolutely right, Colby. Again, throughout the year, she has been the leading scorer for the Pride, over 17 points a game. Much of that comes from the free throw line, doing a great job of drawing fouls. A rare miss that time, rebounded by Addison Newman. Pass inside to Foster. Trying to pass it out to Newman, taken away by the Pride. Trying to pass to the outside to Jennings for 3. No good, rebounded by Camden. Bends to head to Snyder. Up with the left hand, no good. Again, we've seen several situations like that where the Knights have a fast break opportunity and they either miss the shot, whereas Greensboro, they've been able to capitalize. That time was Jennings.
But really like to see the Knights go up with confidence on those fast break attempts.
So the score now stands 52-44 in favor of the Pride. Newman dribbling in, nice move up with the right hand and in. Able to create some separation. Now it's a 6-point game.
Let's go, Tia! Emma, come on! Two over there!
Inside to Jennings. Tries to draw the foul, nothing doing. Brought down by Foster. Snyder able to pass out of the press. Inside O'Bray, wide open, up and in. O'Bray now with 6 points, and all of those coming on fantastic cuts to the basket.
And again, we just see when the Knights take the initiative and go aggressive through that half-court trap, they're getting easy looks at the basket.
The fadeaway jumper, good for Leggett.
Legett's been really solid tonight. Every time Greensboro needs a basket, they go to her and she finds a way.
She now has 16 points in today's game. Trying to pass inside O'Bray once again. She recovers it. Trying to advance it to Snyder, who has to dive to try to recover it, but it'll go out of bounds. And checking in for the Knights for the first time tonight is number 3, Taylor Miyazaki.
3 sets to 1.
They just made the announcement about the men's volleyball team here in the arena, which is why there was an applause. Again, congratulations to men's volleyball for taking the victory over number 1 ranked Juniata. So right now, Southern Virginia doing a lot of things right, doing everything they need to try to whittle their way back into it. But again, we talk about missed opportunities, fast break opportunities where layups just don't go in, or maybe they think there's more defensive pressure than there is and they try to throw up a shot and it ends up being less controlled than they need it to be. But at this point, if you're Southern Virginia, you're right where you want to be. You're within striking distance.
Absolutely, they've been able to cut that lead from halftime from 9 down to 6, where it stands right now, 54-48. The Knights, the last couple minutes, have outplayed the Pride, and they just need to be able to find that offensive groove. You know, it seems like, you know, they've had a couple good possessions. Don't give up. Don't get lackadaisical on that offensive end.
Absolutely. You know, you look at Greensboro College, they have 3 players in double digits in scoring. We mentioned Leggett with 16. She's followed by Jennings, who has 14, and then Livingston with 13. Southern Virginia has 1 player in double digits, and that is Courtney Olson with 13, followed closely by Savoon, who has 9. Here's the jumper for Leggett, wide open, plenty of time to set her feet and shoot. Score now stands 56-48. Pass inside, O'Bray up strong again. Again, those backside cuts are killing the Pride right now. And O'Bray now with 8 points. Here's the three for Livingston. Air ball, no good. Knocked out of bounds by O'Bray.
Checking in for the Knights.
Substitution for the Knights, Courtney Olson. And for the Pride as well, number 15, Carly Mason.
Hey, 11 seconds, let's go!
So 11 seconds on the shot clock. The Pride have it underneath. Here's Leggett working on O'Bray. Here's a three. That's no good. Hard fought rebound but for Miyazaki. Olsen driving in, stepping through left hand, up, no good. Thrown down by Leggett. She was trying to suggest that Foster touched it, but Leggett literally had ripped it out of Foster's hand and basically thrown it out of bounds. So it'll stay with the Knights.
Knights really need to look to execute well here on this offensive play.
Up and good for Newman, the good post move. Brings it back within 4. Here's Palmer. Taken away by O'Bray, thanks to Olsen. Good jump stop, and pass to Olsen for 2. Now it's a 2-point game. Like you said, Colby, the past couple minutes, the Knights have been outplaying the Pride, making the necessary plays and passes. Leggett dribbling through traffic. They're calling the foul on Olsen.
Checking in for the Pride, Lauren.
That's Olsen's second foul. And checking in for the Pride once again is number 2, Lauren Livingston.
4 to 1.
4 to 1.
4 to 1.
10, 10, 10.
Miyazaki able to disrupt that pass. That's one of those things this Knights team missed when she was not on the floor for a majority of this season.
Absolutely, she just brings that element of hustle just like Emma Camden does, you know, so having her be able to come in and take some of those minutes is good, and that's where, you know, the Knights' improvement here, you know, it's really started with a renewed effort on the defensive end.
And checking into the game for the Pride is number 4, Audrey Jennings. Conversation happening here at the stats table. Want to make sure that the score is correct. Just trying to get some things straightened out. In fact, they're also fixing the game clock, I believe. So it'll be set to 54.5 seconds left in the third quarter. Knights down by 2. And it's taken away by Olsen. Advanced ahead to Katie O'Bray. Up strong with the right hand, no good. Brought down that time by Moore. And thrown out basically. Kind of a block, I guess you'd call it, for Olsen.
Oh, they're going to say it went right off the shooter's hand, so night ball.
From this angle, it almost looked like it did come off Olsen, but I guess you're right. I guess Livingston lost control of it, driving towards the basket. They'll call a foul here on Livingston. He's trying to reach in as Newman was driving to the left side. So still Knight possession. Taken away by Leggett. O'Bray hustling back. but Leggett able to knock it down. So back to a 4-point game. Third quarter winding down. Great defense from Greensboro College to prevent the last second shot, but of course the Schroeders wanting a foul as there's a lot of contact being made defensively by the Pride. Coach Lynette Schroeder wanting an explanation as to why there was not a foul called. So now the score stands 58-54. Greensboro College still in the lead. Some substitutions for the Knights in Heggie, McRolla, and Savoon. So emotions are high in the last home game for Southern Virginia on the year going into the conference tournament. Real quick, with this break, want to give a big shout out to our athletic partners, Straws Drinks and Eats. If you're in the Buena Vista area, either visiting the college, visiting a student or student athlete, or just passing through in general, stop by Straws Drinks and Eats to get yourself a great soda or a treat today. Thank you so much, Straws Drinks and Eats, for your support of Southern Virginia athletics. Now, again, much like the matchup last week, Southern Virginia has gone on several runs, brought it within 2 points. Still, at points, just not quite able to get over that hump, and a lot of that is in part to the fact that Greensboro College just does such a great job of responding. Legit, specifically, has been absolutely outstanding for them in this game. 20 points in the first 3 quarters.
20 points, and that comes on 9 of 14 shooting for her. So, she's shooting well above what the rest of the teams are shooting. Just looking real quick, both teams are about 41, 42%. And Leggett has just quietly gone about scoring those 20 points.
And takeaway by Leggett. The jump shot up and good for Leggett. Make it 22 points. So the Knights had the chance to start off with the ball, but a quick turnover and points off turnovers. Savoon driving in, up the left hand, up, no good. Brought down that time by D. Moore. Olsen poking it free, but a foul will be called on her as she was reaching in on Asia Palmer.
Nice foul, number 41, Courtney Olsen.
One thing we've noticed from this Greensboro College team is after timeouts and after quarters, and they start the quarter up, they just come back with such a high amount of energy. They don't have to work back into it like a lot of other teams tend to do.
No, it seems like they've started every quarter off with a renewed sense of energy, good possession, and really tried to, set the pace for what that quarter's going to be like.
And that ball knocked out of bounds by Olsen, so 13 seconds on the shot clock for the Pride. They inbound it to Jennings. Good defensive footwork there from McRolla. Shot clock winding down. They don't even realize it. Jennings throws it up, rebounded by Olsen. Advanced ahead to Newman. Olsen tries to get inside McRolla, taken away by Jennings and Leggett. Here is the mid-range jumper. Rattles off the backboard and in. Here's Newman, dribbling in, left hand up and in for Newman. Leggett working against McRolla, trying to throw up a layup there. No good, Heggie brings it down. McRolla up the right hand, no good. Olsen on the rebound, up and in. Brings it back to a 4-point game, 62-58. Leggett trying to get to Palmer, working on Olsen. Makes a solid move with the right hand up and in. McRolla goes up the right hand, strong, no good. It'll be out of bounds off of Newman. Checking in for the Knights is Eve Schmalbeck. Score stands 64-58.
This is the time of game where the Knights really need to buckle down on defense, make the most of every defensive possession they can to try and come back and put some pressure on Greensboro.
Jennings throws up a shot, trying to draw the foul. Rebounded by Olsen. Pokes free, but a foul be called here on Leggett.
Nice ball.
That is Leggett's third personal foul. So 19 seconds on the shot clock. They'll correct that to make it 20. Newman has to dribble out, shot clock winding down. Pass inside to Schmalbeck, up the left hand and in. Fantastic passing. Brings it back within 4. Up the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Olsen. Olsen right now is a double-double. Newman, she jumped, preparing for the shot, so a travel. Checking in for the Pride, number 12, you have Elia Whiteside, and number 15, Carly Mason. JD O'Bray checking back in for the Knights. And again, another situation where you have a wide open shot. You decide to take an extra jump stop step to try to set yourself, but it results in a turnover.
She had, a little dribble would have been just fine there. Still had the time to do that.
Leggett for 3. That's good for Leggett. She cannot miss. Makes it 67-60. Leggett now has 25 points in the game. Shot clock at 15. Olsen, mid-range jumper, up, no good. Recovered by Olsen. Pass inside to Newman, up the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Palmer. Foul will be called on Newman. That's Newman's third. So it'll go back to the Pride. And Leggett, we've talked about her shooting. She's 11 for 17 from the field, 2 for 3 from behind the three-point line. Absolutely having a monster day shooting-wise. I call travel here on Leggett. Asia Foster will check in for Olsen. But I mentioned Olsen with the double-double. Olsen right now has 15 rebounds to go along with 17 points. A lot of those rebounds preventing second chance opportunities and giving the Knights a chance to set up something offensively.
She's done a good job rising to the challenge of Asia Palmer today.
Schmalbeck was trying to pass it to the inside and ended up taking an extra step as she had picked up the ball. So it'll be a travel on her end. The Knights now at 20 turnovers on the game. And yet still down by 7 to the number 1 team in the conference. Deep 3, no good, rebounded by Savoon. Here's O'Bray, inside to Foster. Taken away by Leggett. O'Bray chasing her down. The speed from O'Bray caused Leggett to miss the layup. So you love the effort. The turnover from O'Bray, hustles back, prevents the shot from going in. O'Bray cuts to the basket, up and good. She's now at 10 points. Talk about a series of events for O'Bray.
I think Legit really thought that she was going to get bailed out there with a foul called, on O'Bray on that defense, and that didn't happen. Nicely able to hustle down to the offensive end and get an easy bucket.
So just over 4 minutes to go in this one. The Knights down by 5. Livingston, the jumper, that is good from the top of the key. Foster driving in, throwing up a shot, getting fouled on the way up. She'll go to the free throw line. That foul is on Palmer. That's Palmer's second personal foul. Some substitutions for the Pride, including Jennings and Moore. And so with 3 minutes and 46 seconds remaining, there'll be a timeout here on the floor. I want to once again give a shout out to our athletic partners, Straws Drinks and Eats here in Buena Vista, Virginia. Go and check it out today. Get yourself a solid soda or a snack, or just have a good relaxing time there. Also, you're watching this on Knights Broadcasting here on YouTube. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell that way you get notified every single time we go live with Southern Virginia Athletics. And be sure to comment down below what's some things you like about the broadcast, what's some things you think we could fix. We appreciate your input for Knights Broadcasting here on YouTube. So, if you're Southern Virginia, right, you're trying to give yourself more of a chance to get a home game in the tournament. You have a chance here at home in front of your home fans to beat the number one team in the conference that has not lost a conference game and has not lost an away game yet this year. I mean, right now they're doing a lot of things that they need to. Again, I've said it before, you gotta cut out the small, silly turnovers, the travels, the double dribbles, the passes that sail out of bounds. Just get rid of those things, and you're more than likely in the lead with those things gone.
Oh, absolutely. The Knights, it's, on one hand, they can't be disappointed in the way they've played today because they've kept up with Greensboro. But then if you look at some of the stats, they will be disappointed that the game's not closer than 7 points right now, or that they don't even have the lead. But with 3 minutes, 46 seconds left, possessions are going to be at a premium now, so they're going to have to execute. They're going to have to play tough defense coming down the stretch. Indeed,
and an interesting statistic that I want to point out is Foster attempts her first free throw, as that one is up and no good. I was looking at the stats here. Southern Virginia has had 14 different players touch the floor in this game compared to Greensboro College's 7. Only 7 players have touched the floor for the Pride all game long. And you see the energy that they've maintained the entire time.
Right, it doesn't look like there's anybody out there that needs to come out right now.
Livingston shot no good. Somehow, some way, Dean Moore gets that shot up and knocks it down despite having 3 defenders draped all over her. Savoon for 3. No good. Initially grabbed by Camden, but knocked out of her hands. Up and under for number 12, Aliyah Whiteside. Starting to see Greensboro College try to pull away here with just over 3 minutes to go. Another turnover for Southern Virginia. Here's Legit up and in. Timeout call for Southern Virginia. Again, out of that timeout, Greensboro College came out with all the energy in the world. Again, despite only having 7 players touch the floor all game long. I mean, at that point, it all comes down to the amount of conditioning work you've done and a lot of discipline, too. Again, when I talked to head coach Heather Macy of Greensboro College, one of the main things she stressed to me was, I feel like we have a very mature team here. And you've seen that time and time again with how they've handled runs from the other team, how they've been able to fight back and make the plays they need to. And she says it, and I believe it. It's a very disciplined and very, very mature team.
No, absolutely. Any time that Southern Virginia's made a little bit of a run or cut the score, the players for Greensboro, they've been very calm, collected.
Yep.
Even, surgeon-like, Legit, she's made, it's been a quiet 27 points, I would have to say. Even though, she shot the ball well, but when she gets the opportunity, she goes about her business very, very casually.
Very matter of fact, that's just my job.
Matter of fact, she takes her time. She's not rushed at all. She creates a little bit of space and gets her shot off. She's not just running people over, trying to get free throws or whatever. And, you know, she's played a very, very good game, and she's not the only one. You had Livingston right out of that timeout, too, that buried, you know, a shot there to extend the lead.
So now the Knights have a chance to respond here now that they find themselves down by 12 after that quick run by the Pride. Screen by Foster, trying to pass it inside to Olsen. She somehow recovers it. Is being yanked at by 2 defenders. It's a jump ball, so it'll go back to the Pride. Getting in there and trying to yank it out was number 22, Dee Moore. So once again, another possession proving fruitless. Dribbling in, the shot up, no good. Rebounded by Moore. You saw Olsen and Foster kind of fighting for it. It resulted in Greensboro College getting the rebound.
Yeah, unfortunately, the 2 players there, either one of them could have grabbed it, and they got into one another's way, and Moore ended up with the ball.
Here's Moore's free throw. First one is no good. Here's the second free throw, up, no good. Rebound that time by Foster. Foster is fouled by Leggett.
Right foul number 23, Leggett. Her 4th.
That is Leggett's 4th foul.
Checking in for the Knights.
As checking in for her will be Asia Palmer.
Checking in for the
And for
Pride.
Southern Virginia, you'll have Abigail Snyder. Olsen for 3. That's no good. Brought down by Palmer. Palmer now has 12 rebounds in the game. That's going to be off Jennings' foot. Jennings is another player that sort of quietly tonight has accumulated a good amount of points with 14 points to her name. But the Knights have done a decent job at making sure she's been frustrated.
Yeah, 14 points, but she's 3 of 12 from the field, so 25% shooting. A lot of her points came from the free throw line.
And Olsen stepping through with the foul, knocks it down, brings it back within 10.
Number 22, Quinija Moore.
She'll get a chance to add one more from the free throw line. Substitution for the Pride. Checking back in really quickly is Leggett. Again, Leggett has 4 fouls to her name. With just a minute and a half, that's not really going to matter much. Free throw is no good for Olsen. Foul will be called on Foster.
Nice foul, number 32, Asia Foster.
I say that Foster pushed on the rebound. So the Knights going to apply some full court pressure here. As again, you're down by 10, and a minute and a half is not a whole lot of time. Leggett dribbling through the traffic, advancing it ahead to number 12, Elia Whiteside. Great ball handling here by number 2, Lauren Livingston, somehow able to evade both Olsen and Savoon, causing head coach Heather Macy to call a timeout. Yeah, that's the kind of defense you need right now. You need someone to sneak in there on the backside and try to take it away like Olsen was, try to create some chaos. Because that's the one thing that Greensboro College has really done for Southern Virginia tonight, is that points make it to where the Knights are kind of flustered, aren't really in synchronization, aren't in their system. And if they're able to do that in this next minute and 10 seconds and knock down some big shots of their own, you never know what could happen. It is college basketball after all.
It is college basketball, you know, and the Knights haven't had a run yet where they've knocked down 2 or 3 three-pointers in a row, so You know, minute 10, it's maybe a little bit of a long shot, but definitely not out of the realm of possibility for a team that's got several shooters.
Absolutely. So now the Pride have it after the timeout. Again, the score stands 75-65. Just a minute and 10 seconds remaining. Kicks the corner, here's the three. That rattles in, and that may just be the dagger. As now it is 78-65. Snyder trying to drive in. Foster mid-range. That's no good. There's a jump ball. It'll go to Southern Virginia. 44.3 seconds remaining. The Knights need something quick. Olsen dribbling in, fadeaway jumper off the glass and in. Making an 11-point game. The Knights bench wanting a carry on Livingston, but instead he'll be fouled. Be called on Olsen. That'll be Olsen's fourth foul. Livingston currently stands at 17 points, shooting 50% from the free throw line, knocks down the first one. Here's the second, and that one is good. Timeout for Southern Virginia, 26.9 seconds remaining as they are down 80-67. 13-point ball game. Again, 26.9 seconds. Not a whole lot of time to do much, especially considering the tight defense that the Pride have been playing the past couple possessions, where the Knights have really had a hard time finding anything. And they aren't just able to pull up and shoot a three because Greensboro College, again, has locked down that perimeter. Because, again, they have the great quickness in their defenders to close out, to stick with them, even if they try to drive into the paint, which they honestly would want them to do at this point, because you need a couple three-pointers in order to get anything going, or give yourself a chance.
No, they're going to have to score in bunches, and, you know, this timeout can serve a lot of different things also, you know, anticipating another matchup next week, possibly in the conference championship or semifinals, where, you know, you want to see something, maybe find something that works.
Right. So again, score stands 80-67, 26.9 seconds remaining. And a foul here on the floor. Leggett called for the block, and I believe that is her fifth.
Her fifth.
Checking in for her will be number 15, Carly Mason. And once again, we want to point out a fantastic game Leggett has had, 27 points, shooting 66.7% from the three-point line, 63.2% from the field. She's a non-stop scoring machine all game long as Snyder goes to the free throw line. First free throw is no good. Here's the second, and that's good. So they need a foul real quickly, but again, the Pride doing a great job passing out of it. Foul will be called here on Snyder.
Nice foul on number 11, Abby Snyder.
So 15.4 seconds remaining with Livingston at the free throw line. And again, she's done a great job the past couple of times to the free throw line, knocking down the last two. First one is good. Livingston now with 20 points. The second one is also good. So that's now two players on this Pride roster with 20-plus points. Like we mentioned, Leggett with 27. Now Livingston with 19, or excuse me, 21. was 19, add the 2 free throws, makes it 21. There's the math for you, ladies and gentlemen. But again, at this point, if you're Southern Virginia, like you said, you're probably talking about some things like, hey, we just got to finish up this game, keep giving it all your effort, because it's been a well-fought game overall from both sides. You cannot come out of this game and say that either team lacked any sort of effort whatsoever. That's not something you can say honestly.
No, both teams played hard. They've played, you know, Southern Virginia, I'm sure, feels like they could have played well. But at the same time, you know, you look at coming into this game, Greensboro had 5 players averaging in double figures.
Right.
Not the case today.
Right.
You know, you have that effort by Leggett, also by Livingston, and then Jennings is the only other member of the Pride that ended up in double figures tonight.
And a three-point attempt for Newman. She's fouled on the try. So she'll go to the line and shoot 3. Only took a couple of seconds off the game clock. First free throw is no good. That's another place where the Knights kind of struggled today, is from the free throw line. The Knights are now 9 of 16. The second one is good. And again, you look at the score being 82-69. You get back a couple of those free throws, you can be in a different scenario right now. Third free throw is good. Makes it 82-70. Livingston trying to dribble out of it. And indeed, they will pass out of the game, with Greensboro College taking this one by a score 82-70 over the Knights of Southern Virginia. And again, the Knights would have liked to have this for some home court advantage in the tournament, which would have been great for them. But at the end of the day, you once again showed that, much like last week, you can stick with the #1 team in the conference. So again, like you said, Colby, that they can take some things, learn from it, and apply it to possibly the next time they play against Greensboro College in the tournament.
No, absolutely. You know, the Knights now with this loss, you know, possibly they'll end up either the 3 or 4 seed. You know, if they'd won, they would have locked up the 3 seed. Now we just have to wait the outcome of a couple other games today.
Right.
But, you know, it's a good team. They've grown a lot throughout the year. They've improved as the season's gone on. So, you know, as we've seen over the years in March Madness, anything can happen in a conference tournament.
Right, absolutely. We've seen that also with these different basketball programs for both men's and women's over the past couple of years. Been able to make some great games and great moments for these players and for this university. And honestly, covering both men's and women's basketball this year has been an absolute treat. You know, but been able to cover most of those games with you, Colby. It's been an absolutely fun ride. A lot of great moments here in Knight Arena. And we're grateful to you viewers for sharing those moments with us here on Knights Broadcasting. But again, hard-fought game. Unfortunately, did not go the way the Knights wanted it to. But we want to once again, before we take off, give a shout out to our athletic partners, Straws, Drinks, and Eats. And if you would like to partner with SVU Athletics or promote your business on campus, such as Straws, Drinks, and Eats does, please contact Brett Schroeder at brett.schroeder@svu.edu. That is brett.schroeder@svu.edu. On behalf of myself, Dawson Wiedrick, and my good friend Colby Kemp here, we appreciate for supporting Knights Broadcasting and Knights Athletics. Good night, God bless, and go Knights.